Well, guys, today is a very special day because today I finally get to talk about one of my very favorite games of all time, and that's this guy right here, Kingdom Come Deliverance, who just recently celebrated its very first birthday just this past February. So, how about a round of applause for Kingdom Come Deliverance, huh? Happy birthday, KCD. Here's to many more to come. Oh, where should I start with Kingdom Come Deliverance? Honestly, I could sit here and talk to you guys about it all day. It's one of my very favorite games, like I said, of all time. We'll go back to the summer of 2017, before this game's release. I remember, I'll never forget this. I was sitting in my girlfriend's parents' living room, and I was talking to her father. We were just throwing ideas back and forth about what we would like to see in a video game if we had complete creative control of it, and we were able to build it from the ground up. And I remember him saying, and I was totally on board with it, he was saying he would love to see a medieval open world RPG, a very story driven RPG that was historically accurate and realistic. And what he meant by that is he didn't want to see magical powers, he didn't want magic to be in it at all. He didn't want any witchcraft, he didn't want mages, he didn't want dragons, he didn't want mythical creatures. Not that those games don't appeal to us, they have just been kind of played out maybe, and we wanted something different. And in this case, different would just be a realistic, more grounded RPG. So, who wouldn't want that? So fast forward a few weeks later, months later, might have even been days later, I'm really not sure. I'm scrolling through Instagram, and I keep seeing this ad pop up for a new video game called Kingdom Come Deliverance, and I just kept brushing it off. I'm not sure if I thought it was like a mobile game or something, because there's a million of those that I see ads for every day, it seems like. Not that I'm against mobile games, I'm a console gamer. I always have been, I always will be. Maybe I'm missing out. That's my problem, alright? Let me deal with it. We like what we like. I digress. So, days go by and I keep seeing this damn ad popping up on my Instagram. So eventually I cave. I'm like, alright, I tap. I click on the expand caption, I read about the description, and lo and behold, I read about this independent game studio called Warhorse, and I read about their vision to create an open world medieval RPG that was historically accurate and realistic completely. And it's crazy because it makes you wonder how much your phones are really listening in on your conversations, because I'm just seeing this ad all of a sudden, but whatever. That is an entirely different video in and of itself. Back to Kingdom Come Deliverance. I'm interested after reading this caption. It really grabbed my attention because this is kind of a game that I've been talking about with my buddies before I even started discussing it with my girlfriend's dad for years, it seems like. So I'm like, alright, I follow Warhorse Studios on Twitter, and I start keeping up with news on the game's development process. I start watching videos, and I'll never forget, I see this gameplay footage, and I had to turn it off halfway through, because I was hooked. They had me. They had me right then and there. And I knew if I watched any more of the video footage of this game, the anticipation was just going to eat me alive. That's just the kind of person I am. Some people relish in the anticipation. Me, not so much. I hate it. It kills me. Alright? So I had to turn it off. But I still kept up on news of the game. I was eagerly anticipating a release date, and once I had one, I had to go to my local GameStop once I figured out that they were going to have physical copies of it, because I knew that this is one that I had to have. I just had a good feeling about it. Just the passion from Warhorse in the videos just kind of oozed through this computer screen at me. And I could really, it really connected with me in a big way. So I knew I had to have a physical copy. I don't do that too often with games nowadays, but this is one I had to do it with. So February rolls around of 2018, and I pick mine up as soon as I can. I don't remember if they had a midnight release. I think they did. Or a 9 p.m. I can't remember what it was, but I was there as soon as I could, and I brought it home, and I put it in my PlayStation, and I don't do this too often anymore because I'm very busy with work and family BS and all that other crap. But as soon as the game downloaded, I sat there and I played it for hours and hours and hours. And here's another thing I don't do too often anymore. I played through the whole game. I couldn't stop. I felt like a kid again in my bedroom playing, GTA all the way through or something for the first time. I really don't have time to play games all the way through anymore, because by the time you get really into one, it seems like another one's just coming out around the corner, and you gotta move on to try to keep up with all the games. And I kind of have like gaming ADHD, I guess, with that. But with this one, I had to sit there and play through the whole thing. It was just that damn good. What was so good about it? God damn, they delivered on everything that they promised they would. It was a historically accurate medieval RPG. Now, there's fictional characters and a fictional storyline within the context of those historically accurate settings and whatever, but it was awesome. Gameplay was very smooth and very challenging, and I really like that. I'm a huge fan of the Dark Souls series and Bloodborne and all that good stuff. I love a good challenge in a game. I always have. Blame it on Zelda, I guess. But I love when a game doesn't hold your hand and it kicks your ass, and this game does just that. It is tough but very fair in its swordplay, and to me that's the game's biggest strength, which is saying a lot because I feel like this game has many strengths, but the combat was just very, very smooth with the combos you could pull off, and you could train to get better and learn more combos and learn to parry and learn to use your sword as a guarding mechanism as well as to attack with, which I really liked. Another thing about the combat that I really liked was it was so realistic in the sense that if you were to encounter more than just a single enemy, shit was going down, man. I mean, and that's how it is. Like, one guy can't go into a mob of people and kick all their asses with a sword. That's not how it goes. I love beat 'em ups, but come on. That doesn't make sense. That can't happen. I don't care how skilled of a swordsman you are. When there's multiple people around you, it's gonna be a tough time. You're gonna have a bad time, okay? Terrible Mr. Mackey impression. I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. Yeah, the combat was extraordinarily good. I love the armor. You could wear light armor or heavy armor, and I love that the heavy armor kind of obscured your vision if you wore the big helms over your head. That was such a super cool touch. It's the little things like that, the little details in this game that I really fell in love with. And it's what makes me keep coming back to this game and playing the DLC, which is also phenomenal. Let's talk about the graphics. The graphics aren't going to blow your mind, but I thought they were beautiful, personally. They have quite a great charm about them. They're charming. And the art style really spoke to me in a way, and I was in love with it. I love the setting. You'll find yourself on your horse just kind of looking around at the trees and the grass and just the various buildings, the architecture. Everything is so detailed in such a fun way. I love it. I love different art styles like this. Not everything has to be in your face, 4K, Ultra HD, realistic, see every little detail. I mean, it's awesome, but there's something to be said about a game that does it a little bit differently. And Kingdom Come definitely does that. Wow, what else should I talk about? Oh my goodness, I feel like I've been just sitting here rambling, talking a million miles per hour, like I'm on speed or something. But the story, let's talk about the story. The story is another one of this game's strong points, and they do a really good job at hooking you in right at the beginning. Very compelling characters. Henry, the protagonist you play as, I was going to say he's lovable, but he can actually be kind of a prick, and that's all dependent on you and your actions and your choices in the game. Which I love. I love the player choice consequences. It's something that a lot of games claim they have, but they don't really have. In this game, you can completely miss quests entirely if you just don't do them. Like the game is like a living world, and these pieces are moving constantly, and if you don't keep up with them, they can move without you. And that happened to me before, and I wasn't upset. I loved it. I love that this game makes you pay attention to everything and really pulls you in and makes you feel a part of it. That's what I look for in a game. So, Kingdom Come Deliverance, man. I don't want this to be a review of the game. It was just my personal experience with the game and how much I like it. I can't recommend it enough to those of you who haven't played it. And I know a lot of you probably haven't played it. If you have, then you probably agree with me. I saw a lot of reviews for this game were kind of negative, and I feel like we're starting to see that more with games, more negative reviews of people reviewing games that just aren't really that good at video games, because this is a very challenging game, and a lot of knacks were on the combat, which I feel is the strongest point of the game. So I guess it all comes down to preference. If you like a challenge, you're going to love this, and it's not a challenge in a bad way, because it's not difficult because of the game's mechanics. It's difficult because it doesn't hold your hand. You know, it's not easy. You have to take your time. You have to be precise with your movements and actions. So don't listen to the negative reviews. This is an excellent game. And 2018 was a year of probably the best year in my lifetime of video games yet. We had God of War, Red Dead Redemption, Spider-Man. I think this game is right up there with all of them. I really do. I think it was that good. So give it a try if you haven't given it a try. If you have given it a try, let me know in the comments what you thought. Kingdom Come Deliverance, happy 1-year anniversary. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time on the lab.